Today I will discuss how to remove private ASNs from the AS path in BGP. Um, Private autonomous system. This is this is I got this from an article from Cisco website. So yeah, just copy and pasted it here in the notepad. So private autonomous system numbers are used by ISPs and customer networks to conserve globally unique AS numbers. So it's talking about the public AS numbers. Private AS numbers cannot be used to access the global internet because they are not unique. AS numbers appear in eBGP AS paths in routing updates. Removing private ASNs from the AS path is necessary if you have been using private ASNs and you want to access the global internet. This is some of these are some of the restrictions on removing and replacing ASNs from the AS path. So this feature only applies to eBGP neighbors. The feature applies to routers in a public AS only. The workaround to this restriction would be to apply the enable local AS command on a per neighbor basis, with the local AS number being a public AS number. Public and private AS numbers. Public AS numbers are assigned by InterNIC and are globally unique. They range from 1 to 64,511. Private AS numbers are used to conserve globally unique AS numbers, and they range from 64,512 to 65,535. Private AS numbers cannot be leaked to a global routing BGP routing table because they are not unique. In BGP best path, yeah, calculations require unique AS numbers. Therefore, might be necessary to remove private AS numbers from an AS path before the routes are propagated to a eBGP neighbor. So yeah, this is the configurations of this is, by the way, the topology that I have in this video. So we have R1 in AS 65000. So this is our customer A with private AS number. And of course, it's got a loopback with this IP address, and it's got a eBGP peering with R2, which is our ISP here. It's got a loopback 0, and it's got an IP address of this. And of course, we have another customer B with public AS, and it's in AS3. R3 is an AS3, and of course, ISP or R2 is an AS2. Okay, let me show you the configurations. So R1 is basically, this is the config of R1, BGP config here, which is what we have here. And R2 is this, which is also, I will remove this first. So yeah, this is our basic BGP configuration based on our topology here. It's basically um, advertising these networks into BGP. And this is our basic configurations. here, and this is what we are going to, these commands are what we are going to try to remove the private AES from the AS path in the BGP updates. And this is just basically to configure a route map and set the AS path uh, or set a AS path depending on R1. Of course, not sure if you are familiar with the route map, but this is the syntax. So I'm not matching anything here. So it means that, I'm not specifying any match statement. So it means that it's matching everything. And I apply that route map to this neighbor, which is R2, right? And of course, this is the basic BGP configuration on R3 here, except this, but it's just an optional soft reconfiguration inbound. Okay, so BGP peerings are actually established on these routers. So you see that um, R1 has an eBGP peering with R2. This is the IP address. And let's go to R2. And R2 has two BGP peerings, eBGP peerings with R1 and R3. Okay, and let's go to R3. So R3 has an eBGP peering with R2. Oh yeah, it's now receiving that. Okay, I was trying this actually. It was not working, so we're gonna try that again. We're gonna try this command here, but let's start with this first. So yeah, so it says here this is to remove private AS numbers from the AS path. So let's do that. So I'm going to R2 here because currently this private AS is being advertised into R3, which is not uh, possible in real world, not gonna work. But here it's working because this is just, of course, a lab. So we're going to remove this private AS. And we are going to use this command for that. So from R2, go into R2, and then I will use this, remove private AS. So this just means that R2 is going to advertise, going to remove the private AS number in the AS path. And I'm going to clear BGP to reset the session, BGP session. Okay, let's try again. Nothing yet. Okay. Yeah, it took our command here. Let's go to R3. Okay, previously we had this private AS in the AS path. Now we don't. We don't anymore. So This command here is working as expected. So next is actually try this command here to remove AS numbers from the AS path, even if the path contains both public and private AS numbers. So technically, if we are prepending AS numbers, this here will not work actually. We have to use this because we have to use this if the AS path contains both public and private ASNs or AS numbers. This is what I was trying earlier before making this video, and it was not working. But according to the documentation that I read, it should work as this. So, but let's try again. So going to R1 and going to just copy and paste that command and apply it into R2 here, the IP address. Neighbor, our neighbor is R2. And just clear BGP session. So expectation is we should receive longer AS path from AS 6500, I mean 65,000, or from R1, right? So let me go to R2. We're not learning it yet. Oh, was taking too long. Okay, now BGP established. And we're not receiving the route yet. When I say the route, this route here. Okay, let's try again. I should receive that route. Let me clear the BGP session here from R2 as well. Let me check the configuration R1. So route map. Yes, looks good. Oh, you know what? Let's add a yes path here. Let's add, instead of that, let's also add that. One more. Do clear BGP session again. Okay, there we go. Let's go to R2. We're not receiving it yet. receiving yet. But our BGP and route map configuration is looking good actually. Is prepared. Yeah. We go to R2 again. Looks like it's taking a while. It's taking longer than expected actually. So maybe this could be because of my computer itself. Okay, so I'm not advertising it. So that's not good. Show IP BGP neighbor next stop. Yeah, I'm not advertising anything to that. So let me try to add a statement here. Make it 20. Okay, clear BGP session. Let's just wait for a minute and try again. Okay, it's taking a while. Still idle, wow. Check. BGP, okay, looks good. Out map. Yeah, looks good. So, okay, BGP just came up. And it's gonna take a while to advertise that route to R2. Okay. So that is /24, right? Yeah, /24. Let's check again now. This should work, but it's just taking a while. There we go. Now it works. Took too long. Okay, now we see this. So we see the longer AS path from R2 and going to, let me go to R3. It's not receiving the, okay. It should, R3 should receive this route here. But now it's not receiving it anymore. I guess you have to wait as well. On receiving two routes, which is this. in this. Going to, should we wait? Wow. I'm actually going to, let's give it a few seconds. Yeah, it's not receiving it. So I'm going to try to remove this here. Let's remove it. Okay, this is gonna take a while again. Yeah, still idle. Still idle. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's go to R3. Wow, BGP just came up. And it's not receiving any routes yet. You can also use this command to just see the received prefixes here. You know what? I'm not gonna wait for that. I think we have shown that this one here works at least. And like I said, this here should work if there is both public and private ASNs in the AS path, um, at least in the old version, in the old iOS versions. So if this is not working, you can use this to remove to make sure that AS private AS all private ASs are removed. And of course, this is to remove all private ASs and replace those private ASs with your local AS, which is in this case going to be R2. So it's going to replace 65,000 with R2 local AS, which is one. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's check now. Okay, now you receive the route, and I'm not still receiving the this route here, the 10 something route. And if I go here, I'm not. I only have the basic configuration, BGP configuration. Oops. So yeah, it's just taking forever to wait here. So yeah, I'm not gonna wait for that. So, but if you want, you can try these commands on your lab yourself. But yeah, I'm going to add this document or text in the description of this video. But That's it in this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.